But we're going to be looking into next week's league rules and trying to make something for that. So I think Art Deco is the instant include. Just because graphic design gets a bonus, Art Deco is already just a very strong card. It keeps on buffing itself, and it gives you energy every turn. Plus, with the graphic design bonus, that's going to be like a no-brainer to include in any deck. I'm a free-to-play player, so I don't have a ton of cards. So I'm still working on that. This can probably benefit if we go back and just check out the league rules. So musically minded and instrumental are both arts and culture. So in general, arts and culture will be a little strong. You could throw in some constellations. I don't have Tonely yet, but if we pull that from the current Spotlight pack, that could be good for constellation support. Graphic design. Get yourself a ping in games and events. Hey, Mr. Math, nice to see you here. Yeah, so I was just looking up what are some good cards. Pretty much for this week, I'm not expecting to hit top 100 just because I had too much going on in life. I had my brother's wedding where I was the best man, and I had my girlfriend fly in from out of state, so she was visiting for a bit. So not all the time committed to Q this week. But I think next week the Disco Ball profile pick is looking really good, and that's something I might want to push for. I'm just trying to think what else I might want to go for this upcoming week. So instrumental and musically minded. I don't have a ton of cards in those. If I pull a violin, it's a violin maker. That would be a really nice pull to throw in here, but I don't think I have very much in the terms of instrumental or musically minded. Good sports. I'm just trying to see if there's anything worth building a deck around. Cheese rolling can be good for if you win more cards. Cards that are like the polar bear, where it's like when you're winning the round or something like that, then it gets additional benefits. Or cards with returns for if you won the turn. So like if you had like a cheese rolling in tennis, I don't really think that's going to be energy efficient enough. But if you were to pull something off like that, then let's see, that would be what, 85? That'd be an 85 swing if you win the turn with tennis. And something like cheese rolling could help support making sure that you win rounds. Triathlon's a good card, actually. I like Triathlon a lot with the interrupt. It might come out later, but I do like Triathlon. We could just try to go for a lot of energy ramp and maybe some big hitting with boxing, but I don't think that'll be very good. Gymnastics could be a decent... Could be a decent card, but I don't think it fits in what I'd be looking for. That would be, what, 89 power per energy? And it gives them a -2, though. The World Turtle? Yeah, the World Turtle would be pretty simple to build around. Let's see, what are some highlights for Life on Land? Dragonfly. I really like Dragonfly. It's conditional energy. It's got decent stats, and it's a conditional way to get energy. And you're gonna release a tier list sometime today? Oh, awesome, Mr. Math. Where are you gonna be releasing that? Is that on Discord, or do you have like a YouTube or something like that? And I've been catching your streams fairly often. But yeah, I'd be interested when you release that tier list. See, I have a love for the butterfly decks, but that doesn't really work too well with the World Turtle on Discord. Sometime in the league, go ahead and hit out my predictions for this coming week. Awesome. Well, I'm excited to catch that. Peregrine Falcon can be interesting, but it's definitely not worth the energy cost, but stealing the energy. So that'd be 5 costs, or 4 cost 30, but you're also stealing 2 energy from them. I need to learn how to value stealing energy a little bit more. I don't think it's worth it, but I want to figure out how to value that a little bit better. I'm also missing a couple of key cards. Like, if I had a Heimdall that I could run with the World Turtle, that would be pretty great. I do not have Heimdall at this point in time. I could go for just like some cheap Persian, sorting by rarity. That's a good call, yeah. If I just want to go big swinging, like a boxing behemoth sort of thing, I could do something like that. Flamboyant Tree is pretty decent unless there's something else I run into. This cost... Saber-tooth Longhorn Beetle might be good enough, too. I think that's a good temporary placement. It's a little heavy right now. I'd want to put in some cheaper cards. I would toss in like a Ghost to just give me a little more energy gen. And that could be... I'd probably cut Triathlon fairly soon when I actually start looking through stuff. But that's just a placeholder for now. Yeah, I'm really short on a handful of cards. Sure, Sue Black Bones is a good deck for a beginner to reach rank dragon. Yeah, so I hit dragon, and I actually got top 100 a couple weeks back using Math and Butterflies deck. So I have like the 2038 Apocalypse, Euclid, Twin Paradox as like scaling math cards, and I have like a Charles Darwin in there, and then I have a Butterfly package that would also scale up, and I had a Chaos Theory and stuff like that. Just so I had a small Butterfly package within a science deck. Yeah, Sue Black is such a solid beginner deck. I agree, and I'm bridging the gap from beginner to intermediate area. So I still have a lot to learn, so I appreciate like all of the feedback. Yeah, I've been catching Mr. Math's streams and like trying to learn a decent amount. Up until one of his more recent streams, I was thinking like, okay, anything above the 10 power per energy seems to be like decent baseline stats, and then anything above that, I was like, oh, if it's above 10, like it's decent. Not that it's amazing, but it's decent. But then yeah, I got the input that he looks for like 20 plus, which I was talking about for tech cards for all the arts and cultures, like Oliver Cromwell, which is pretty close, but just under 20, unless you hit a bunch of painters. But if you can play it against 3 arts and culture, then it's worth it. Could do a hamburger or like an Aki. Actually, I like Aki better than Triathlon. What else do I want to go for the next album? I could go for space to look for some constellations. I could have like a big hitter like Godzilla. I feel like Sputnik would be good this week actually if people are running a bunch of constellation decks. Because Constellation is close to being like a good deck. And I think if you add in the support of the arena, I think people will be trying it. Will it be good? I'm not sure, but I think people will be giving it a try. And at least in the beginning of the week, I think Sputnik will be really good because it's going to be reducing all their space cards. So if you have people going for those full out, they just pull Tom Lee from their spotlight, they have their constellations that they're going to run, I think Sputnik could be a good counter card. If you hit 2 space cards with it, it's over 20 power per energy. I could run just a little space technology package. What do I have in... Let's grab that temporarily and check what do I have in terms of space technology. Luna's a little too expensive for what I would like. Robonaut's not bad. If I have a very large array hitting 2 other cards, making these cheaper, so it'd be like a 6, 6, and a 3. What's my energy looking at? My energy is a little high for now, but I'm gonna have some energy gen. And I like Robonaut. He's not the best. So if you win, it pretty much steals 20 stats from Robonaut and puts it onto something else in your hand. So you can get back to back, you can get the 20 power that it currently has, and then when it loses it and goes to something else, you can kind of get an additional 20 power for that play of Robonaut if you win, so it's conditional. But it's also just a cheap card, and right now I'm running kind of heavy. Now this discounts itself, so that's not really 6. This generates more energy. This has a potential to generate energy. And Ghost generates energy. So we got some energy gen, so I think we can go a little heavy. So I'm liking this as a start. Boosting up some space technology, having to counter to some constellations, and just rounding out, having making some of my space tech a little cheaper, and then having that. I like that for now. The only other thing I could think of is would I want to actually include a constellation myself. I don't think I have too many good constellations. I do have Godzilla if I just want a big power hitter, but that's very energy hungry. That's for dogs. Got the Godzilla. Dogs. You gotta do, oh, maybe Constellation Dogs could be a thing. Just because you have Lupus, so they gain, oh, that's just this turn, that's not wherever they are permanently or until played or anything like that. And I'm just gonna do one last scan through. You could also do Moon and some Moon support with Buzz Aldrin, the Moon, and then you can do some, Oceans cards too, like, either ones that boost up the Moon, like the Amore, or just general Oceans cards and try to cycle your deck so you draw the Moon to hit the Oceans cards. I could also do Earth if I just want a little influx of energy. Oh wait, I have the Moon, where is it? Yeah, just the ones in hand. Earth is a consideration if I want to go a little less space technology. Like if I want to drop Robonaut. If I want to drop the 3 other cards that aren't Sputnik, I could do Earth and 2 others, which I may consider. But I want to see what else. So the other consideration would be drop the space technology support, Just have Sputnik, and we could add the Moon, Earth, and one other space card. Earth to give an influx of energy, Moon to power up oceans, and then some other space card that I can look for. But that'll give me actually some cheaper. I think I'm gonna put that in as the temporary one, actually. Not auto. That was a typo. I did not, or misclick rather. It did give me the Earth, which is what I was saying. But I want to keep them kind of ordered a little bit so I can see where things are. Earth, Moon, and Buzz Aldrin. That's what, 69 plus 50. That's 119 for 7, which is not the best. But we're a little bit limited on cards. We'll come back around to space. So if we sort this by rarity, Hammerhead is decent. Rainbow Snake kind of not good enough. I would like one day to make a really good Rainbow Snake deck with like a Heimdall or something like that, and try to see if you can make it work, because I think it's like an interesting card. I don't think it's actually good enough to justify its own existence though, because even if you play it round 1, it's only it's on play that it comes in, so you get 90 plus the 35, so it's only 125 for 7. I don't think that's really good enough to justify itself. I need some cheaper cards also. Or I can go like the leather pack route, but I don't think that's reliable enough because I need to draw it when I have all my expensive cards in hand. I don't know if that's reliable. Let's see, how many of my cards right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. It only hit 4 out of 12, 1/3 right now. I don't think that would be worth it. Do I have good enough cephalopods to support the one that gives +2 energy? If you have 4 or more in the deck, gain +2. That's not especially good. +3. Crustaceans. I wouldn't have crustaceans if I'm doing that. No, I don't have good enough cephs to support that. Tomorrow, Chromatic Scale will be really good. Chromatic Scale? Yeah, I do have Chromatic Scale. It is a cheap card. I could throw that in instead of Aki. I can go, what, like Flying Ghost. Or it's not Flying Ghost, Flying Cloud. If I just want energy, because my things are expensive, what is it called? Beagle? That's if I just want to go the energy hungry route. I can have Beagle, Ghost, Dragonfly, Art Deco, and I can be a little greedier with energy. And obviously this is going to get tweaked a lot throughout the week as we're figuring out what's meta. Stingray could be a good cheap card. I could go for like a Dusky Dolphins, because those can hit kind of hard, and most of the time won't be too expensive when I'm trying to play them, because I can usually just play them out at 5 energy as soon as I draw them. And that'll be like 20 power per energy. Candy Crab gets expensive really, really fast, but it could be good for winning an early round. And then in the later rounds, I'll have a lot more energy. It's a consideration, but I'm leaning no. It's only really good the first time you play it. And I think that I'd rather be able to cycle through my deck enough that I don't need to reply to it. But yeah, I think Chromatic could be pretty decent. That would be good if I'm looking for cheap cards. But I think I'm looking for one more Ocean, and then I can put in any 2 cards that I want. Because I don't need 6 different albums, yeah. If this were like a Heimdall mixture, I'd have to put in just 2 random cards of separate albums, but I can just put in the best 2 other cards. Blue Ringed Octopus and Persian? Yeah. Yeah, I had mentioned that as a potential option. Well, what would I drop from over here? I could drop Dragonfly and just say if I'm going a little bit cheaper, I could drop Flamboyant Tree. Because if my hand gets too heavy, I might not be able to cycle through as fast as I want. And I think... I just don't know if I want the conditional energy, or if I want the instant play. 7-1-10, you think is a bad ratio? Like, it's not the best, but it's usually a pretty decent play. I'm also probably a much lower level than you and have, or I know, like, I'm not even in Master yet. Persian Blue Ring. Yeah, 7-140. Yeah, I know when you're looking for the 20 power per, power per turn, you're looking for a 20 multiplier. That's worth it on the second play. Yeah, but even German Shepherd is better than that. 50. Okay. Never mind. It hits all 5 of them, so that'd be 97.5. Yeah, that's true. 80 or more base power. I don't have many that are strong base power, that are 80 plus base power. Let's see. Salt Lake Aki and Flying Cloud. Okay, so I'm curious how you guys value some cards that are card inflation, like Flying Cloud, Saltfish Aki. Do you value them as over the course of the game? For example, it would be 4-0, then 8-7. Like or I guess for Flying Cloud, it would be 5-0, 5-100, 5-200 if you get the third play out, if it's not the bottom card in your deck, assuming you can cycle fast enough. Do you value it like in that way, like 5-0, 10-100, and then 15-200? Or do you value it as like, we're throwing a round, so we're not even going to count that round. That round's a loss. And then it's a 5-100 the next time you play it. Okay, so you see it as a 15-300? Okay. I was curious if you saw it as a 15-300, or if you saw it as, we're throwing one round, that's the Aki, that's the Flying Cloud, we just lose that round, we give it up, and then we view it as the stronger play later on. Okay, so in Control, you ignore the first play, and in mid-range, you look at it over the course of the whole game. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense, yeah, because I was like trying to view, because I'm still getting some feel for how to value different kinds of power per turn. Like whether that's like card scaling or if that's like permanent power per turn, how to value that. So you gave some good insight on one of your previous streams, Mr. Math 314, on power per turn, valuing it versus ramping power per turn versus ramping cards. And yeah, I think that gave me actually some really good insight into like learning how to value the cards a little bit better. Okay, so this would be like 652, then it would be 10, and then 52 plus 82, so 134. So 10, 134. And then on the third play, it would get a lot more. It would be 12, 246. That sounds believable, which is about 20. That's assuming you get 3 plays. Now the question for that, though, is do we get the third play reliably? Because this deck, as of now, is a little bit heavy. I try to make it a little less heavy with the Earth and Moon and with having energy ramp, but do we get to actually play it out round... one, is it not the bottom card in the deck? And 2, do we consistently cycle through our deck round 1 and round 2 fast enough that we get 3 hits out of it, as opposed to just getting 2 hits? Because I feel like if you just get 2 cards, it's not worth it. K-Pop Dan, depends. Usually permanent cards are for a control deck, so Flying Cloud is bad for aggro, but really good for control, and is just a standard rare. Yeah, you can guarantee the third play if you're cycling 3 a turn. Yeah. Well, if it's the bottom card in the deck, I don't think you guarantee it. I think there's the 1 in 18 chance or whatever, because you would see 5 cards, 8 cards, 11 cards. That's round 1. So 11, 14... Oh, no, wait. 5, 8, 11, 14, 17. And you need it by round 2, turn 2 to be able to see it again, because it goes from turn 2 to turn 1 to the very last turn. So if it's the bottom card in the deck, you're still screwed. Either way, on that, if it's a bottom card. What? Yeah, bottom card won't be seen, you're right. Okay, yeah. Alright, so if it's the absolute bottom card, you don't get it, which it depends on, I guess... So you're taking like a little bit of like a statistical chance with that, but we have multiple cards that have that same kind of thing, so it increases the odds that one of them is the bottom card, but also it makes it so at least some of them we should be able to get, or I would say all but one of them we're guaranteed to get 3 plays, assuming we can cycle through our deck. So we got our water, our space, our arts and culture, and our life on land. And we'll probably make some changes to that. We could look at science, paleontology, or history. Let's look at some science first. Ooh, I could even get rid of something over here. potentially, and put in like a little beautiful human body. Some things that I like to do with World Turtle decks is I make sure I have like the 4 space and I have some science support, such as like plank length for it. Oh, I could do hibiscus. Yeah, you're right. I don't have lovers, but yeah, when I first pulled La China Poblana, I was like, if I only had lovers, that would be like the perfect thing to pair it with. But I don't have it. But you are absolutely right with hibiscus. Do I want to cut the generation or do I want to have this scaling up? I think I need to value the energy gen, at least for now. I might go back on that. I think I need to value the energy gen for now. Just because my hand is a little heavy. I might come back and change that, but I think that's where I'd want to have for now. I actually have not played with hibiscus yet, but if you play in the middle slot, card on the left gains 40, yeah. So that is actually a really good, that's a really good call. Yeah, I did Zacchus's code. Yeah, 1 second. I actually have that up here. So let me move myself. His Sunday Funday code was Zach live on the 31st. So if you didn't catch Zacchus's Q code, it's Zach live on the 31st. I got you, HEC Knight. But yeah, okay, so we added in hibiscus to go with the channel problema. Really good call. Really good call, Mr. Math. Yeah, agree 100% with that. Whether or not I should get rid of the beetle or the dragonfly, I think I'd figure that out after a couple of games of playing with each. I don't think I have good enough history cards. I don't have like a Testudos or anything like that, or Bonnie and Clyde. Set of All Sets could be just a decent support card that just sits in my hand the whole time. Twin Paradox could be good. It gets cheaper and cheaper, but I think I need things that are cheaper earlier on to ensure I can get through my cycle. I don't think it's good enough to have cards that just get cheaper later for this deck, because I need to make sure I can get through my cycles earlier on. Power of 0, it depends on if people run big decks. I'm not expecting huge decks though. Snowflake, I don't want that with China Pobla. Yeah, that doesn't work with either of those. Never mind. Because I was thinking if I just wanted 2-card turns, sometimes I would pair up like Snowflake and the Satanic Eyed Gecko. I'm not really loving many of these science cards right now for this week. I could just have like a set of all sets that just sits in my hand. And maybe a Twin Paradox. But let me look over what Paleo is the last option I have to look at. T-Rex if I want to try to win some early. Ankylosaurus, that's too expensive. I'm already have my upper end cards right now. What do I need? I could go like a whatever, I forget what it's actually called. I could go like the Brontosaurus one just for the energy being thrown in. Honestly, I might just go with wait 1 second. I just go this. And I just go, let's just look at energy. Let us go, I can throw an MLK. MLK could be a decent card. I think that's a good placeholder. Because MLK is what? It's 30 itself, and it can give another 40, so it'd be like 70. 70 for 3, yeah. I think MLK for right now is what's being slotted in. And I think this deck will get adjusted throughout the week. I for sure don't think this is like the final version of this deck, but I think that this is a decent start. I think there's a lot of room for improvement in the space. I want to check between Dragonfly and the Beetle. I wanted to check in on Chromatic Scale to see, because that's going to drop, what's my like average energy right now? 4.7. Okay. So then I need to get like closer to 15 to be able to play every single turn. Let's just reset that and look for Chroma. Okay, what if I threw out the Aki and went for Chroma? Where does that move this? To 4.5, so a little bit. And this gets boosted by the Musically Minded. So this will get a boost in some arenas. It's just a cheap card, and it's going to give plus 12 to my cards for 2 turns. So That's easily energy efficient, and it just gives me something cheaper. Yeah, I'm a little bit limited on paleo cards, and I was just looking through. I didn't realize how little my paleo cards were. I've been playing this game for about 4 weeks at this point in time, so I'm still fairly new. I would say I'm bridging the gap into intermediate level. So I think I'm just getting past the beginner phase into the intermediate phase. I just pulled my first mythic this week. Like the other day, I got light speed, and that was the first mythic. I haven't even made a deck around it yet, so that could be a fun deck to try to just like force something with, to just play around with a little bit. I'm not expecting to hit top 100 this week, so I'm good to try to just screw around top ladder. I'm at 200, not 200. Geez, not 200. 20 shields right now. I may have just dropped to 19. What's a good deck name for this? This is the Disco Fever week. So let's just call it Disco Fever on the World Turtle. Or it's the disco party on the World Turtle. So we're gonna throw a little disco party on the World Turtle. Alright, so this is what it's looking like. We got China Poblana to pair with Hibiscus. We have MLK and Dragonfly for some conditional energy that if kind of win more energy. We got the Persian and the Blue Ring Octopus combo, the World Turtle. Dolphins is just energy efficient. Beagle gives us energy. Earth gives us energy and is cheap. Just cycle through. Sputnik to counter the constellations that people will probably try in the beginning of the week. Art Deco, it's Art Deco plus the graphic design bonus. Set of all sets will just sit in our hand the whole game. Maybe until the very last turn of the game, and then just slam it down for like 130 or something like that. Buzz Aldrin is very cuttable. I just need a better space card. Let me see it. Right now, yeah, Buzz Aldrin's actually not even... I don't even think he's... Yeah, I don't think plus 50 for Moon, if I have Moon in hand, is good enough. You have to play it with the Moon. Just do I have anything better? You would change Moon with Orion. I do not have Orion. Is that a constellation that buffs oceans or something like that? Depending on how hard it is to get that, I don't make any changes, yeah. I just want to even see what it is. If I go to Orion Nebula, +3 next turn. Or no, Orion itself. Your life on land, wherever they are, cost 1 extra energy until played. Why would I want that? Oh, your opponents. Okay. So that's assuming... Okay, let's assume we're going to see a lot of World Turtle decks. That's going to be +4 energy to their cycle whenever we play it. I think that looks like a pretty decent include. Wait, 1 second. Was it a 3 cost or a 4 cost? Okay, it's 3 costs. If you assume you're in against World Turtle decks, it's probably going to be +4 energy for them. So it's already going to be like a net -1 energy for you versus them. So it's like so it's going to be like a net -1 energy. Let's say, yeah, they're going to have to play out. If they want to play 3 cards a turn, they can't just not play their life on land cards. They have to at least play 2 of them and have like 2 dead cards in their hand, which it's going to get its value out of it. Yeah, and with the Constellation boost, I think, yeah, I think you're right. Orion is a pretty good include. I'll probably set up a trade for that in a bit. But I think Orion would be a good include. Yeah, I think that's actually a very good fit. It's a cheap card. It gets a Constellation bonus. It does what we need. Sputnik, Earth. I don't like Buzz Aldrin. I could even just cut Aldrin and put in something like that. I really don't like Aldrin. The more I think on it, the less I like it. Just because you need to wait until you cycle the Moon along with it. I think I would put Orion into this empty slot right now if I had it. I think I'm going to set up a trade for that because I agree. I think that's going to be really good with the Constellation boost. Yeah. I'm definitely warmed up to that idea. It took me a second to get there, but yeah, I do like that idea a lot. That's 9 for 90, not worth it. Big Bang, kind of underwhelming. I could just throw in Butterfly as like a cheap card. As a temporary thing. And then once I get Orion, swap in Orion. Riding the Waves. I have 2 Riding the Waves, right? I have Flying Ghost and I have Beagle. This could also potentially be a good just cheap include that I replace with Orion. You posted your tier list? I understand the disclaimer, just your opinion, but I do value your opinion. I do think you actually have like a lot of good insights in the game, Mr. Math. So yeah, I appreciate that. I'll definitely check that out. Let's see. Depending on how the stream goes, I might check that out on stream, or I might just check that out myself afterwards. That's plus 13. This is plus 12. Yeah, I think I just put in this Enki. What I don't even know. I don't even remember ever seeing this card. Enki Katena. I think I just throw that in for now as the placeholder. And then I think when I get Orion, that's when I'm going to have to think, do I want to drop this, or do I want to drop the Moon for Orion? Which I'm thinking I would drop the Moon. I think I dropped the Moon for Orion. I think I actually like this card a lot. It's going to be plus 24, so it's going to be 40 for 2. It's going to be 40 for 2, but only 16 immediately. And then the other 24 I can choose when I want to amongst Flying, Cloud, and Beagle. And it makes Beagle a less terrible play. It'll make it at least 60 for 6 plus the energy that you get, and it buffs the life on land. If I'm winning. I think this is coming together. I think we just drop the Moon for Orion once we get it. And I'm thinking this is a pretty solid deck for a beginner to intermediate player, which is where I sit at. So I think this is actually looking pretty solid. Yeah, I appreciate all the input. Hibiscus was an amazing call. Orion is definitely a good pull to go for. Persian Cat and the Blue Ring Octopus was a good include. Set of all sets I can take or leave. Moon I want to drop for Orion once I get Orion. There's probably something better I can find than Dusky Dolphins, but that's a very solid to sit there. I could throw in a Stingray maybe, if I want to go for a cheaper but less strong option than Dusky Dolphins. But I'm liking where this is sitting at for now. So I'm thinking this is the Disco Party deck. Yeah, I think this Moon is going to get replaced with Orion. Thanks for that, K-Pop Dan. And then, I'm thinking this is looking pretty solid for next week. Granted, we'll see what the meta brings next week. This might need to be completely overhauled as soon as we get into the new meta. Thanks for watching that clip from my Twitch stream. To catch my stream live and to throw your ideas in the ring, follow NearWizard on Twitch, link in the description. See you soon.